All right. Hi, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm Steve Mowbray, and this is Amplify Amplify Your Message with AI, hosted by Amanda and WorkSource Montgomery County. Amanda, you want to say hi? You want to say a few words before we get started?
Good morning. I'm just thrilled to see everybody here again, hoping that you all enjoyed kind of playing with what Steve taught us last week. I know I thought it was incredibly valuable and I learned a lot, and I heard from all of you too that you thought the information was equally valuable. So Steve, we just appreciate your time and what you've been willing to kind of impart and teach us about.
Oh, well, thank you. And as I mentioned, I think each and every one of you is wonderful. I appreciate all the feedback you've sent. So thank you all for that. I'm sorry I had to postpone Tuesday, but I just was not feeling great and still not feeling my best. So I may sound a little funny or I may start coughing a little bit, but we'll get through it. So it's not going to be that bad. So today, or are there any questions on the last couple days, the last couple sessions? All right. So what we're going to do today is we're now going to focus our efforts on on so last time we focused our efforts on creating writing to make sure that we know our voice, to get AI to sound less like AI and more like us. Now again, that wasn't the purpose of that wasn't to have AI create something and for us to just cut and paste it. It's to get something a lot closer to what we would normally want to use. So if AI is creating something for us, it's close to what we want to do. We're still responsible for the edits. I still recommend that you still do the final edits on those documents before you send them out. So now we're going to take a look at how do we get AI to focus on individuals that we want to address, VIPs in our life, and not just a target. So there's this phrase in a lot of the prompt writing formats, they say, who's your audience? And the audience might be, oh, a recruiter, or the audience might be executive leadership. That was always one of my favorites. And no, that's not the case. We want to dig in deeper. We want to get deeper with that. We want to know who that person is, or we want to know what specific job description, what specific language is being used by the company for the job, for the JD, for the job description. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to focus in on acting like a little bit smarter. And yes, and all right, so guys, keep me on track. I realize I am a little loopy at the moment, so I'm having a hard time staying focused. But I apologize for that. But we're going to get through the training because I just went through it one more time, and so it's all good. So I'm going to share my screen, and if I seem to be rambling, just stop me, okay? Let's see. Now I want to share my application, but I can't. All right. So I'm going to share my screen. And does everybody see? Does everybody see ChatGPT?
We do.
Okay. There we go. All right. Thank you all for that. So again, we're going to start here. Now, here's Terry Tartwell. Terry Tartwell is he is a Pop Tart taster, and that is his profession. And here is his resume. And he's a food taster. He's got 8 years, and this is his resume. And as you can see, and I've shortened this material, but we're going to use Terry as our target for today, as an individual, and he's going to be, or she is going to be creating resumes and cover letters for particular companies and job descriptions. And that's what we're going to focus on. The skills that we learned today should be applied across the board. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to upload Carrie's resume to start. And then we also want to take a job description, and here is a job description from and here's a job description from Google. All right. And it is basically a taste tester. They just use different language. They call it a flavor experience lead. They go into different words and phrases, but this is a typical job description that we might have. Again, this is short. I don't think Google is getting into ice cream. If Google, you are getting into ice cream, or Microsoft, you're getting into ice cream, that was completely unintended. So there should be no connection here. But I just use these two organizations because they're real and focused. So what we want to do is now we want to take our resume and compare it with our job description. And what I'm going to do is just very simple prompt. And I'm just going to tell AI to act as an updated, in the past 5 years, an ATS system. An ATS is a tracking system. When you submit a resume to any system, it's going to go through and it's going to try to match keywords and phrases to make sure that we get a reasonable match. So just provide a very short overview. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look, and it will come back and it will give us a quick little overview. Oh, so this time our match is fairly high. It's in 72, so that's not bad. Each time we do this, it's going to come up somewhat different. Okay, and it says it's likely to pass, but let's see if we can get a little closer. So now what I'd like it to do, excuse me. Okay, so we're not real close. So now we're going to use a different prompt, and this one is going to be to rewrite our resume in a little more detail. And again, I'm going to send these prompts to you. But what I basically pasted in here is a resume optimization prompt. I need you to optimize my resume for a specific description. Use the attached writing persona. If I had my persona, I'd upload that. And the resume should sound like me, not like a template. And here's critical rules. I always will put these in here if it's going to write something for me. Do not invent, fabricate, or add any skills. We don't want it to do that because AI would love to do that and love to put in all kinds of skills that we don't have. Do not use AI sounding language, vary sentence length. If this sounds familiar, like we did last week, then that's where it comes from. So use natural language. Step 1, read the job description and identify the key terms. Oops. And it's not so easy to see in this window, but then just type out, create a new resume, and let's see where it goes, okay? And again, I'm going to send these prompts to you after the class, so we'll have those. So now it's rewriting the resume for us. So we gave it very critical descriptions. So now it rewrote the resume. So now we have slightly different version. And now we're going to rerun the ATS and rescore. So let's see how it does. Now this should come up with a much higher. Okay. So now it's the ATS match score is 83. Are you guys familiar with the ATS systems? Have you guys run into those? Okay. And so as I understand it, we want to be above 80%. 90% is great if it's truly real, but that doesn't mean it necessarily will be. So So now the resume has been rewritten. So now we've increased the score and it's much closer. Now again, you want to reread the resume to make sure that AI didn't make anything up because AI will. Um, and so we're much, much closer. Now, ChatGPT is giving us a couple of other options. So we could continue to dig into this, um, or we could take our resume that it just rewrote. Oh, open open the new resume in a canvas. Um, so Claude has multiple windows you could run. Here we can do it here, and now ChatGPT we can open it up in a separate canvas. So if we do it this way, if we edit it, now we can see the resume here on the right side, and you can download it from here. If we wanted to, we could copy it, paste it into Word, so it's easier to work with. Any questions so far?
I didn't know you could do that with Canvas. That's really cool.
Oh, okay. And you have to be careful sometimes because sometimes it'll mess it up. But if you tell it to open it up on a canvas, it'll put it there, and then you can edit it, and you can do your windows side by side. Claude has a different version of it. I'm not sure what Gemini does. Rachel probably knows because she knows all the ins and outs.
I've never done that part before. And of course, I had to step away because my sick kid broke her magnetized tower and is crying, but
Oh, oh, is she okay?
she'll be fine.
All right. I did. Did you see how to do this?
Yes, I did. I do see that. And so I'll be checking that out.
Okay. All right. So that can be a very valuable way, and this way we can update the prompts on the left and the right. So now, if we had another job description, and let's say Microsoft was going to go into the ice cream business, and so they were going to come up with Microsoft ice cream or whatever they might call it, and now they might have a different term for it: senior sensory analyst for frozen desserts versus a flavor experience lead, cream roulette. Same job, same job, basically same thing, same skill sets, just different company language. So now if we go back here and we say rerun the ATS score using this newer or this different JD, and let me post that one here. Post the Microsoft one. All right, because we just had 83 for Google, and we could have refined it if we wanted to. And so now we have a same resume, basically, same skill sets. With Google, we had a much higher one, but now we need a different language for Microsoft because now our score is much lower for the Microsoft JD, right? So each time we create a resume, we want to kind of align it to make sure that it's going to match that corporate language of the job description or the company that we're reaching for. How's that landing with everyone? Okay. And so now, all right. So let's do this. And it says, oh, let's see if we can get to the low 80s. So now we're just going to tell ChatGPT, yes, rewrite it. And so it should rewrite it over here in our canvas for us. Okay, so let's see. All right, so what is our current ATS score? So now it's rewritten the resume. Now it's going to tell us, okay, so now we went from what, 60 something to 80 something. Now, again, we want to go through and we want to review it. And we want to make sure that it's not creating anything crazy, because it will make things up. All right. So how is this landing with everyone? Sound like something we could do?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And hopefully this will be valuable for everyone. All right. So now let's dig into cover letters. And cover letters are pretty critical because I believe if your resume gets pulled by the ATS, gets over into the pile for recruiters to review, many recruiters, I believe, will review the cover letter. Now, I know sometimes we don't get a chance to add a cover letter, and that's okay. But if we do, let's add a cover letter writer. And so we're going to tell it to write a very short cover letter. So write a cover letter for the attached job description using my attached resume. The rules only reference experience in my resume. I'm putting in here, keep it under 100 words. That's probably too short for a typical cover letter, but it serves our needs just to make it easier to use. I believe cover letters should be about 250 to 300. But for this, we're just going to use it for this short. And so let's put it in here. All right, so let's open this letter in the canvas. Oh, why didn't it open it in the canvas? Okay. Oh, it did. Okay, it did. Here we go. So sorry, I went through and it wasn't showing up on my screen. So now we have it here in the canvas for us. All right, now this is pretty dull. But now let's rewrite it. And now I'm going to ask AI to do some search, to do search on the company. And so now rewrite this cover letter with specific knowledge about the company. Take a moment and research and incorporate their mission or values, a recent company initiative, culture, and the rules, same rules. We're just going to do a little bit deeper. And then we're going to learn one more really cool trick. It didn't create that in the canvas, did it? I wasn't paying. I'm sorry. I got to drink water. Okay, I'm just going to close that because this is short. So now we have this, and so we are using some additional information. Mission to empower every person and organization on the planet. That's new. That wasn't there before, but that is one of Microsoft's missions. And now we're going to dig in a little bit deeper, and we're going to ask the specific things we're going to ask AI to do is now we're going to have it do multiple steps here. Step one, research the company for recent news, company mission, strategic initiatives, notable objectives. Then step two, present 3 to 5 specific findings I could reference in my cover letter. So now I'm asking AI, give me some options here. Don't just create it on your own. Give me some options, and then I will choose those. Step 3, stop and wait for me to select which findings I want to use. So maybe there's something, and for this, I did say 3 to 5. I'm just going to say 5 specific findings, just to make sure we get that. Then the rest of the prompt is pretty much the same. So we're telling AI, do some research, stop, give me some options. And so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 options. And so now I can choose any of these options. And let's say I want to choose option 3. Microsoft is building AI-powered tools. I don't know what that has to do with ice cream, but we're just going to put that in here. So we're going to say option number 3. And then it should rewrite the resume. All right. So now I'm excited to apply for the role. It says, and how you're expanding AI-powered tools like low code. Right. So that's a new trick for us. So now we're going to go through, we're getting closer and closer to what we really want. We've now chosen some options. And so now giving us a little more detail. How's this landing with you guys?
This is really great because I have always felt kind of weird just saying, like, I love your mission of XYZ. And I think that this takes it a step further and sounds more human and also like I did my homework rather than just copy and paste their mission. So, yeah, thanks.
And it might be worth double checking. Right? So, so because it may come up with things that are completely unrelated to what we're really doing, but or it may hallucinate as well. So you are still responsible for that final check. But this gets us closer to what we want to do. Now, next, let's say we dug in even deeper. Because some LinkedIn job descriptions, they'll tell you about the recruiter, or they may even tell you who the hiring manager is. Now, if you know the recruiter or the hiring manager, you can do some additional research. So here we have a prompt to create a persona of an individual, just like we did for ourselves, but this is a little bit different. So here, I'm going to share content from a specific person, posts, articles, review the content. I want you to understand their learning style, their VARK. Are they visual, auditory, reading, or kinesthetic? Do they talk about feelings? What are their metaphors, analogies? Okay. So now we're going to go in deeper and deeper and try to create an understanding of how they learn. So when we write something to them, it might resonate more deeply.
Ooh.
And so what we're going to do here is we're going to use Satya Nadella, because let's face it, if anybody's going to decide that they should dig into, that Microsoft should dig into ice cream, they won't be able to do it without his approval, right? So we're gonna dig in with him. So there is a YouTube video that he created, just a short one, 2 minutes. It's this video here, and it's 2 minutes long. But anything, we want something that's his voice. We could take posts from his book. Here is an article that he wrote from LinkedIn. So here's some information about him in particular. Okay, so it's going to describe who he is, so we have a better understanding and we can read this. This sounds like his style. Heavy use of metrics, structured bullet points, concrete figures. So this is a great way for us to understand how we can communicate in a language that he will understand. Because while it's great to hit all of the Microsoft recruiters, if we know the exact recruiter we want to talk to, if we know the exact hiring manager we want to talk to, we can dig in much, much deeper. Okay. So we could create a little prompt from this. We could do whatever. So now we could read this, make sure we understand the style. And now we can say, rewrite the cover letter. All right. All right. So now it touches more on him. Scalable systems that deliver outcomes. Day-to-day execution. Okay. So now it's using more and more of his language. So hopefully this will resonate more and more with Satya. So if you do want to send him an email, just tell him I said hi. Okay, so now it digs in. It's a little bit more of his language. And hopefully, if he were to read this, and if he were to read dozens of them, this one would stand out a little bit more because it's more aligned with his learning style. So now we're aiming this more towards that individual. Questions so far? Come on, you got to have some questions or some thoughts. We've covered a lot of material here.
I love how targeted it is. I think it's super cool. I would not have thought of this. Thanks.
And so we're getting deeper and deeper and deeper as we go. We started off fairly high level, right? We probably have a generic resume. And thank you for that comment, Liam. Now we're digging in. So we want to match for specific job descriptions. Now we want to match for specific corporate language. Now, if we can identify the individual, we're in great shape. So we keep going deeper and deeper and deeper. And it doesn't take that much time. Yes, it does take a lot of time if you're trying to submit 5 applications in a day. It does take a lot of time. But if it's one, particular, it doesn't take that much time to do this. I mean, we've gone through this in 30 minutes so far. So we've gone through. Now what do we do if we don't know who the hiring managers are and we don't have an idea? Well, here's what we're going to do is we are going to ask ChatGPT to help us find that. So again, this is another prompt. And again, you're going to get all these did that work out okay when I sent the prompts right after the class?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was
For
great.
me, it did. For me, it did.
All right. So we'll do that again. And I sent it in Word format, didn't I? Or PDF? Okay. Yeah, because you guys can edit these a little bit. It just gives you an idea. And you may notice the prompts I'm using are more detailed than the last time because we're now asking it to write content for us in more detail, not to learn about us, but to write. And so I want to be more clear. So here's what we're going to do. Using the attached job description, and I'll post that one up here. Step 1, check the posting itself. Is the name listed on the job post? Do some normal thing. Step 2, search for candidates using the company name and department for the job description. So, do a little search on there. Step 3, narrow the list for each potential match. Do they post similar jobs and just look at some different ways to find it. And then give me 2 to 3 likely candidates for both recruiters and hiring managers. And then LinkedIn if possible. All right, so now we're going to put this one back in here. the Microsoft job description, and let's see. And now this is kind of weird because it's going to come up with real people from Microsoft. So I don't know who it's going to come up with. Um, okay, so here's a couple of titles that we might find. And then, likely hiring manager candidates. Here's what they look like. And within consumer product qualities. Okay, so it gave us some titles that we can search for. So now we can go in and we can do some searches in LinkedIn and maybe come up with a couple of very likely candidates. Now, when I've done this for different job descriptions, I have been able to find to narrow it down to one or two people that I think is the hiring manager. So it can be very valuable to help us dig in to get a little bit closer each time.
One more thing, Steve, that I found helpful is finding when the company posts the job and looking at who reposts it. Because a lot of times the hiring manager will say, come join my team or something like that. And that's been helpful for me to kind of narrow down who to reach out to. Yeah.
That's a great point. Again, thank you for the great tip. Yeah, so if you can find who's reposted it, that's fabulous. And what is the easiest way to find out who's reposted it?
I just I Google the job description and the name usually or the name, the job title and the company, and it'll pull up posts about that job. And
Oh,
sometimes people will do it. I actually have an interview in an hour for someone I found that way. I commented, "Hey, I actually applied for this job. I'm still interested." And so she sent me an email that same day and said, thanks for the LinkedIn note. And, that was just a totally cold post. And yeah, so I'm starting to do that a little more. It's very cringeworthy because everybody can see that I posted it, but that's where we all are. So yeah.
well,
But
that's wonderful.
yeah, if you click the little dots, it'll say who reposts, and some people just repost without saying anything, but other people will repost and say something
Mm-hmm.
like, this is a great team to work on, or come join my team, or, something like that. And that usually can guide you to where the person might be. And I've had that work a few times now. Not interviews, that's only worked one time. We'll see how that goes.
Okay, well, wonderful. Well, everybody, let's give Rachel a round of applause and wish her luck. So thank you. Good luck, kiddo.
Thanks. And that's also why I have my kid building blocks during this time and interrupting me rather than during the interview, because she will get the TV for the interview.
Okay. Okay. So here are some possibles. And so Rachel came up with an even smarter way to do this. And if we did it again, if we posted a different job description, like if we posted the one for, so if we went back to Google, right? So again, oh, I thought I uploaded it. Here we go. Okay. All right. There we go. So now here's the new JD. So now it's going to come up and it will come up with a different set. Oh,
It's
all
calling
right.
you out
So,
as not a real job, I think.
huh?
Saying Google doesn't hire ice cream.
Maybe let's try pasting it in here because I'm curious.
Or anti-Google bias.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. For whatever reason, ChatGPT no longer wanted to read the word version of that. So, okay. technical or campus recruiter. And so here's the different roles, the different titles. Um, so there we are. So we're digging in a little bit deeper. So each step that we go gets a little bit deeper, brings us closer and closer to our target, to the individuals that we want to communicate with directly, and hopefully gets our message um, closer and closer and more accurate to where we want to be. All right. So how are we feeling? I think I went through this pretty quick.
I'm eager to play with the personas of kind of real hiring managers on LinkedIn who might not have as much kind of, I don't want to say of their own writing or things like that
Hmm.
on LinkedIn, just to see how close you can get to their style.
Okay. So that will be interesting. So again, would like to do the same thing. So I'm going to send out these prompts. Would then like you to practice using your real resume, real job descriptions, use the prompts, and then come back and share the results. Um, so here's something we could do. I don't know if you guys are available on Tuesday because I canceled last Tuesday because I was feeling well. I slept right through the class. Uh, but we can get back together again next Tuesday to follow up. I'll be available, and all we're going to do is just talk about how things went with you. If everybody shows up, we'll do the same thing. We will go through, we'll create breakout rooms, we'll have a quick discussion, and then we'll come back into the main room, share tips and tricks, how things went. Um, was that effective last time? All right, so that's what we can do again. Now, I know we still have 20 minutes, but I've covered the material that I planned on covering, so it went faster than I thought. What else can we share? What else would we like to discuss?
Thanks, Steve. This is great. I'm really looking forward to uh exploring with this. I got a question more of a technical side if anybody better knows how to work these things. I'm using Claude, and what would you and I'm trying to use a project, so I think I'm on the right path here, and I think I might know the answer, but what would you do if you were in the middle of this process for a job and you hit your token limit?
Okay. Um, and it won't allow you to do anything else.
Yeah.
Uh, that's frustrating.
Uh-huh. It sure is. And I think it's my fault because I think I was using one chat for way too long.
Okay.
I think the answer, and I don't know, I'm exploring this myself. I think the answer is to start a project, and within the project, you upload all your files, and you have to you'll use separate chats
Hmm.
for each new job sort of application. I think, but I'll try to have an answer for this by Tuesday as well.
Okay, because what I do with Claude is I do put everything in projects,
Mhm.
and I have one project that has for job search.
Yeah.
And so each time I create a new resume, I upload the resume so Claude can remember it. And then each time I have a new job description, that's a new chat within that project.
Yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do now. What I had done is one long chat with like, I don't know, probably 400 of these.
Okay.
So it knew me really well, but it filled up. Yeah.
Okay,
I think
yes. And
we also said uploading as documents rather than just copying the text in is a factor in that.
Yeah.
But I don't have any of the answers. I don't upload documents and I have never had a tokens issue. But I don't know any more than that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was a frustrating wall that I hit. So I'm curious. I've been exploring it. I think that's the answer though, what you said, Steve. So thanks.
that's the way I do it. Um, let's see. Did we do a show of hands? Who can attend Tuesday?
Looks like you're about 50-50 right now. So I don't know
Okay.
if you want to push to our last week, just to make sure you have
Um,
enough participants.
hmm. Well, because our last week is in January. So, and we want to start something else. What would you get? I can be available and be on chat if people want to reach out, and if we decide that we want to reschedule the whole session for January, we'll do that. So why don't I just schedule an open time on my calendar? You guys can join if you want, and if not, that's okay too.
What about if so would the it's just to go over what we've gone over today?
To talk about how the practice went,
Okay.
to share tips and tricks, hopefully success stories.
Yeah. I'm just not available at that time on Tuesday. I could do Friday or Monday, but I also know that's just me. So but if everybody else is, that's I'm okay to miss that. I get it.
All right, so that would be Friday tomorrow.
Well, yeah, I just know we're getting close to Christmas, so
Yeah.
things are uh like starting to pick up with travel and stuff. And I don't know how long, if you want to put this off until January, or if you just want to, have a meeting quickly
Yeah.
on Tuesday and reshare. It looks like a lot of people are available for Tuesday.
I could be available tomorrow at 10 or Tuesday. Amanda, I'm gonna let you decide. I'm just gonna push it off to her.
It looks like you have a solid kind of 5-6 people that are available on Tuesday.
Okay.
So if you want to stick with that window and then maybe folks can ask questions. And then if you can't join on Tuesday, go ahead and bring it to kind of our last week as well. Sound like a plan? Okay.
All right. That sounds like a great plan. All right. So I'm gonna stop the recording. Dun, dun, dun. I'm gonna stop the recording for now, and we will post the recording.